right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So I actually just posted a video on the Jalen Carter news where him and his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, came out and basically said, hey, we're not going to be visiting or meeting with any team picking outside of the top 10. And the reason why this is big news is because, you know, with the Carolina Panthers trading up, with the legal issues, with the pro day performance, there was some speculation that Jalen Carter could start to slip in the draft. But, you know, him and his agent here, they're saying, we're not interested. If you're not, you know, picking in the top 10, we're not interested in going to check, you know, visit or meet and all that kind of stuff. So really, really interesting situation. But I actually woke up to a bunch of messages with the same video clip, and it's from the Craig Carton show. And a couple Jets fans were like, hey man, would you mind doing a video on this? I would love to hear your, you know, your opinion on it. And I'm like, you know, for sure. Let me check it out. Supposedly it's a new Aaron Rodgers rumor here, and new team involved, potentially the 49ers. And really just to summarize the rumor, the idea is that because the 49ers were awarded so many comp picks, so many third-round picks, they would package multiple, like a lot of third-round picks in this year's draft class, along with a first-round pick in next year's draft class to the Green Bay Packers, and they would get Aaron Rodgers and, you know, move forward for however long Rodgers decides to play for. And I got to be honest, I just can't see this happening. You know, I know Rodgers is from there. I know the 49ers are arguably the best team in the NFC. And, you know, adding Rodgers to that squad is, with Kyle Shanahan, with the weapons, with that defense, it's pretty much just like, man, I would assume that would be the Super Bowl favorite. But I just can't see it happening. I mean, the 49ers... They traded away, you know, they have Trey Lance on the roster, which they traded, what, 2-3 first-round picks for. Brock Purdy, in my opinion, is a guy who can win games. I think, you know, if you listen to coaches, how they talk about him, if you listen to how players talk about Brock Purdy, everybody absolutely loves him. And it's not like Brock Purdy is just like some finished product, and that's exactly who he is. No, he still has room to get better. This is somebody who didn't, you know, he wasn't named the starter initially. He had to battle. The reason why he did start games for the 49ers, you know, for the Niners last season was because Lance got hurt, Jimmy G got hurt, and then Brock Purdy had to step into the mix as kind of the third option. He was the last pick in the draft. I loved him at Iowa State, so much fun to watch, but I wasn't expecting this level of play this early. So now, you know, if you are San Fran, you can hit the offseason. He's the full-time starter. You're giving him all these first-team reps, and now you have your identity with an extremely cheap, a young quarterback at the helm in Purdy that, frankly, everybody loves in the building. I haven't heard one negative, one bad thing said about Purdy from, you know, like a 49ers player or a 49ers source or coach or anything like that. It really seems like Brock has a future in San Fran. Not to mention they signed Sam Darnold as well to a cheap one-year contract. So they have 3 young quarterbacks on the roster. They're not really dishing out a ton of, you know, a ton of money here to the position. I would go as far as to say that with Brock Purdy at the helm for the 49ers, they're still a top 2, top 3 team in the NFC. You can make an argument, like 100%, they're the best team. You know, the reason why the 49ers looked as bad as they did in the NFC Championship game was because they were, down to their 4th option in Josh Johnson, and they just wildcat and whatnot. Like, I think the 49ers don't necessarily need Rodgers. Of course, he would be, you know, it'd be insane if they landed him, but I just don't know, like, this far along into the process. I mean, the Jets have been working on this. To me, it seems like since the Super Bowl, this has been a major talking point. I remember rumors really started to heat up right around the Senior Bowl. So, and that was months ago here. So, you know, we're a couple weeks out from the NFL draft. I think, I just don't know how much stock I'm putting into this. I still believe it's the Jets and the Packers, and they're really, really close to getting this thing done. And it's just who blinks first. I think the Jets, you know, right now should be looking to get this done before the draft because you get your guy in house. You know what the plan is going to be on draft night. You get the contract situation figured out. So now you can ideally prepare and go after other free agents on the market. And who knows, maybe Aaron Rodgers officially being on the team could sway people sway free agents to sign with the Jets. They weren't maybe thinking New York originally. Now it's like, man, they're loading up with Rodgers. Let me see what's going on there. Or let me take the Jets offer more seriously. Something along those lines. Post-draft, I think Green Bay, you know, at that point, they're shooting for the 2024 draft. They're going to kick their feet up and say, we'll trade Aaron when we get to it. No rush from their end. So again, ideally, I think the draft is kind of a soft deadline on it. I think it makes the most sense for the Jets. And honestly, too, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Jet fan here, but I do think it makes sense for Green Bay as well. You know, like make sure Jordan Love has enough talent around him as possible in year one as the starting quarterback of the team. Last thing, you know, if I was a Packer fan or if I was a member in the organization, the last thing I would want is to part ways with Aaron Rodgers, roll Jordan Love out there and say, okay, awesome. We lost a couple players in free agency and all of our draft compensation is not until 2024. So does he have enough talent? Does he have, you know, enough weapons offensively? And you have all these different things muddying up the situation, you don't want to be in a position at the end of the season with a lack of clarity. Is Jordan Love the guy? Did he have enough help around him? Is he taking steps in the right direction as far as development is concerned? So to sum it all up, I still think it's Jets and the Packers here. Super, super close for A-Rod. It's just a matter of time. Who's going to blink first? It doesn't really seem like there's any major hiccups or anything like that. It's just the fine, you know, future compensation. What if Rodgers retires after one season? You know, maybe 2025, maybe a 2025 pick can be involved. Who knows how it plays out? But as far as the 49ers go, I don't know how much stock I'm going to put into it at this point in time. Again, with the 49ers being the best team in that division right now before the draft, do they really need to trade more draft capital? They traded away draft capital for Lance. They traded capital away for Christian McCaffrey. They gave up a pretty big haul for that. You know, I don't know. It just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.